walk us through the details of this OPEC Plus decision.
Yeah, good morning, Kriti. Basically, OPEC Plus had a select group of the countries there, 8 of them, had taken off voluntarily about 2.2 million barrels a day of production. And what they're doing is they're unwinding those cuts now. They're bringing that oil back into the market. That won't bring all the OPEC Plus oil back to the market because there are still cuts in place. That will be the next phase of what they need to decide on. But what they're doing right now is by September, they're going to have unwound that first round of voluntary cuts. Again, that's 2.2 million barrels that they're bringing back to the market. And that's a lot faster than they had initially planned to do. They initially planned to take a full year more before they brought that oil back to the market. But OPEC has assessed a couple things. They've assessed that the market is strong enough to take all that oil back into the market. Plus, I think they've decided that they want to have market share. They don't want to give up that market share to those other non-OPEC Plus countries that are continuing to produce and increase production and put more barrels into the market. They want to get some of that market share back for themselves, even if it means slightly lower prices. They're also taking the temperature of the room and saying that Donald Trump wants lower prices, thinking that prices are going to go that way anyway, so they might as well get some more barrels out there and get a political win from giving Trump what he wants. Of course, prices are not as low as the president might want. They're around about $70 a barrel today, and so one of the surprises is that prices really have held up in the face of this added supply coming to market, and that's because we've seen really strong demand through the summer from gasoline, from diesel, from jet fuel as people travel around. The clouds that are kind of on the horizon, though, are of the prospect of declining demand as we get into the winter months. So as we get into that summer peak, a little bit less demand. As that oil comes to market, maybe we get some buildup and some lower prices. So that's the risk that the market is looking at, Kriti.